In the soft light of an early spring morning, when the dew still clung to the blades of grass and the air held a promise of renewal, a quiet home on the outskirts of a bustling town stirred awake. Inside lived Alex, a warm, thoughtful individual whose life had been marked by both triumphs and tribulations. Alex's days were interwoven with challenges that many would find overwhelming, for he lived with both epilepsy and diabetes. His medical conditions were unpredictable, casting long shadows of uncertainty over what should have been ordinary days. Yet, amid these challenges, one constant remained: the unwavering companionship of his Pitbull, Buddy. Buddy was not an ordinary dog. From the moment he first padded into Alex's life, it was clear that he possessed an extraordinary sensitivity, a keen intuition that seemed to transcend the usual bounds of canine awareness. With a coat that shimmered in shades of mahogany and eyes that glowed with empathy and alertness, Buddy became more than a pet, he became a guardian, a silent sentinel whose presence infused Alex's life with hope and resilience. Their journey together began on a rainy afternoon when Alex, struggling with the early symptoms of a seizure he couldn't quite articulate, found solace in Buddy's calming presence. While Alex's condition had long made him wary of sudden medical crises, it was Buddy's behavior on that fateful day that hinted at a hidden potential. As the first tremors of an impending seizure began to ripple through Alex's body, Buddy's ears perked, and he shifted his weight, moving closer as if sensing the change in the room's energy. With a soft whine and a persistent nudge, Buddy gently tapped Alex's arm, a quiet, yet insistent signal that something was amiss. Though Alex had experienced similar sensations before, the clarity and urgency in Buddy's actions were unmistakable. In that moment, a silent understanding was forged between man and dog, a mutual recognition that Buddy was capable of detecting the subtle shifts in Alex's state long before a full-blown crisis could take hold. Over time, Alex and Buddy refined their unique routine. Alex began to notice that, just moments before an epileptic episode or a dangerous drop in blood sugar, Buddy would exhibit a particular set of behaviors. The dog's tail would wag in a rhythmic, almost measured cadence, his eyes would fixate intently on Alex's face, and he would gently paw or nudge him, as though urging him to pay attention. It was as if Buddy were trying to say, "I sense something, please take action." Recognizing this remarkable pattern, Alex worked closely with his healthcare providers to document these early warning signs. Together, they developed a plan that allowed Alex to administer his medication or call for help before his symptoms escalated. With each successful intervention, the bond between Alex and Buddy grew stronger, a bond built on trust, intuition, and the silent promise that neither would face the challenges of life alone. The journey was not without its trials. There were mornings when the alarm in Buddy's eyes would send shivers down Alex's spine, as he braced himself for another episode. In those moments, the house would fall into a hush, broken only by the soft sound of Buddy's steady breathing as he remained by Alex's side. On one particularly harrowing day, when Alex's blood sugar plummeted dangerously low during a family outing, Buddy's response was nothing short of heroic. While the panic of the situation threatened to overwhelm everyone, Buddy circled around Alex, barking softly yet insistently until a nearby family member recognized the urgency of the moment. That simple act of alertness led to the immediate administration of sugar, averting what could have been a life-threatening crisis. In the aftermath, as Alex's strength slowly returned, tears of gratitude were shed for a dog whose vigilance had saved him from the brink of disaster. Buddy's natural talents soon caught the attention of others in the community. Neighbors began to notice the uncanny accuracy with which he would detect changes in Alex's condition. At the local park, where Alex and Buddy often strolled beneath blooming cherry trees, onlookers marveled at how Buddy would suddenly stop in his tracks, nose twitching as if picking up a scent no one else could perceive. Word spread quickly about the remarkable medical alert abilities of this loyal Pitbull. Local media outlets, always on the lookout for uplifting stories of human-animal bonds, began to feature Alex and Buddy in heartwarming segments that showcased the dog's life-saving interventions. Interviews with Alex were filled with raw emotion and sincere gratitude. "Buddy isn't just my pet," Alex explained in one such interview, his voice thick with emotion. "He's my guardian, my silent warning system. I know that when he starts behaving a certain way, I have to listen, because he's telling me that my body is about to send out a distress signal. Without him, I'd be much more vulnerable. And honestly, I'd be scared to go about my day." His words resonated deeply with viewers, many of whom found inspiration in the idea that a dog's love and loyalty could have such a profound impact on one's quality of life. Alex's story soon became intertwined with broader conversations about medical alert dogs and the rigorous training that often goes into honing such skills. Experts in veterinary behavior and canine training explained that while some dogs are naturally attuned to the chemical changes in a human's body, the process of translating that sensitivity into actionable alerts requires careful observation and consistent reinforcement. In Buddy's case, it appeared that his innate sensitivity had been amplified by the environment of care and love in which he was raised. His ability to detect the faintest alterations in Alex's sweat, breath, and even body temperature was nothing short of miraculous, a testament to the extraordinary potential of the canine sense of smell, which is estimated to be tens of thousands of times more acute than that of a human. As the seasons changed and the bond between Alex and Buddy deepened, the pair began to participate in local events dedicated to raising awareness about epilepsy, diabetes, and the role of medical alert dogs. At community health fairs and school assemblies, Alex would share his personal experiences, recounting in vivid detail how Buddy's timely alerts had prevented countless emergencies. He spoke of the moments when Buddy's gentle nudges had allowed him to take his medication on time, or when the dog's persistent presence had given him the chance to call for help before his condition deteriorated further. These public appearances not only educated audiences about the potential life-saving benefits of medical alert dogs but also helped to challenge the negative stereotypes that had long plagued breeds like Pitbulls. "It's not about the breed," Alex would say. "It's about the individual, about how love, training, and a supportive environment can unlock the best in any animal." The story of Buddy's life-saving abilities began to spread beyond the borders of the local community. Social media platforms lit up with posts, photos, and videos of Buddy in action, a montage of moments that captured the subtle cues of alertness, the tender care he provided during a crisis, and the quiet heroism that defined his everyday. Hashtags such as #BuddyTheGuardian and #MedicalAlertPitbull trended regionally, with people from all over sharing their own experiences with medical alert dogs. Testimonials poured in from families who had been touched by similar stories, creating a network of support and understanding that transcended geographical boundaries. In one particularly memorable video segment, a local news station followed Alex and Buddy on one of their daily routines. The footage showed the pair walking along a sun-dappled path in a neighborhood park, the air filled with the cheerful chirping of birds and the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. At one point, as if on cue, Buddy's demeanor changed. The dog paused, his ears perked, and he looked intently at Alex, who immediately recognized the familiar warning signal. The camera captured the moment in slow motion, Buddy's eyes, filled with an almost palpable intensity, meeting Alex's with an unspoken plea to take action. The segment concluded with Alex explaining to viewers the significance of that moment, emphasizing how Buddy's intuition had given him a precious window to stabilize his condition and avoid a potentially dangerous episode. The video resonated with viewers, who commented in droves about the incredible bond between the pair and the hope that such partnerships offered to others battling chronic illnesses. Beyond the media spotlight, Buddy's impact was felt in quieter, more personal ways. At home, Alex began to document his journey in a journal, recording not only the times when Buddy's alerts had prevented crises but also the subtle, everyday moments that defined their life together. There were mornings when Buddy would lie at the foot of Alex's bed, his eyes soft and watchful, as if ensuring that his guardian slept safely. There were afternoons when a gentle paw on the arm would remind Alex to check his blood sugar levels, preventing a dangerous dip that could lead to confusion or loss of consciousness. These small acts of vigilance, repeated day after day, transformed what had once been a life filled with anxiety and unpredictability into one imbued with trust, empowerment, and a renewed sense of purpose. As word of Buddy's abilities continued to spread, local healthcare providers took notice as well. Clinics and hospitals began to receive inquiries about the possibility of training more medical alert dogs to assist individuals with epilepsy and diabetes. Conferences were held, and research studies were launched to explore the physiological mechanisms behind a dog's ability to detect subtle changes in human biochemistry. In one symposium, a leading expert in canine olfaction explained that the phenomenon was not entirely mysterious. It was rooted in the fact that dogs possess an extraordinary number of olfactory receptors, enabling them to sense chemical changes at concentrations far below the threshold of human perception. Buddy's case, the expert noted, is a shining example of how our canine companions can serve as early warning systems, alerting us to potentially life-threatening changes before they manifest fully. Such scientific validation only bolstered the community's belief in the transformative power of these relationships. Amid all the scientific discussion and public acclaim, the human element of the story remained at its core. For Alex, every day with Buddy was a reminder that hope could be found even in the face of adversity. Despite the challenges of managing epilepsy and diabetes, Alex's outlook on life had grown brighter, enriched by the unspoken, unwavering support of a dog who saw beyond medical charts and medications to the very essence of human vulnerability and strength. In quiet moments of reflection, Alex would often speak softly to Buddy, thanking him for the countless times he had intervened, for the quiet reassurance of his presence, and for the reminder that he was never truly alone in his battle. The transformation in Alex's life was mirrored by a broader cultural shift within his community. Long-held prejudices about certain breeds, particularly pit bulls, began to crumble under the weight of evidence that loyalty, empathy, and heroism are not dictated by appearance but by heart and nurture. Pet owners, inspired by Alex and Buddy's story, began to share their own experiences, forming support groups and online forums dedicated to celebrating the miraculous bonds between humans and their medical alert dogs. These groups provided a platform for sharing tips on training, advice on managing chronic conditions, and heartfelt testimonials that underscored the life-saving potential of canine companionship. In the months and years that followed, Buddy's legacy continued to grow. Alex and Buddy became local ambassadors for a cause that was both deeply personal and universally resonant. They participated in charity walks, community health fairs, and even school assemblies, where Alex spoke candidly about the struggles of living with chronic illnesses and the invaluable role that Buddy played in his daily life. His presentations were raw, unfiltered accounts of a journey marked by moments of fear, hope, and ultimately, transformation. A journey that underscored the importance of compassion, trust, and the extraordinary bond between a person and their animal companion. Public sentiment was overwhelmingly positive. Letters poured in from people who had been inspired by the story, individuals battling similar conditions, families who had lost hope, and even skeptics who had once dismissed the abilities of medical alert dogs. Buddy gave me hope when I thought there was none. One letter read, "Your story reminds me that even in our darkest moments, there is a light waiting to guide us forward." Such messages not only validated Alex's experiences but also sparked broader discussions about how society views and supports individuals with chronic medical conditions. Local media continued to celebrate Buddy's achievements. Feature articles in newspapers, documentaries on community television, and countless social media posts painted a picture of a pit bull who defied all expectations. Hashtags like #BuddySaves and #MedicalAlertHero trended widely, with millions of views and shares that spread the message of hope far beyond the confines of Alex's small town. These stories, imbued with a palpable sense of gratitude and admiration, served as a powerful counter-narrative to the negative stereotypes that had long plagued pit bulls, revealing instead a species capable of profound empathy and life-saving loyalty. As seasons changed and life continued its steady rhythm, Alex's home evolved into a sanctuary of hope and resilience, a place where challenges were met with courage. And every day was a celebration of the indomitable human spirit, supported by a four-legged guardian whose silent vigilance had altered the course of a life. In the evenings, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, Alex and Buddy would sit together on the porch. In those moments of quiet reflection, the world outside seemed to pause, allowing the two companions to simply be, a man and his dog. united by an unspoken promise that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Even as Alex continued to manage his medical conditions with the assistance of modern treatments and the ever-present reassurance of Buddy's alerts, the duo's story remained a beacon of inspiration for all who encountered it. It was a story of transformation, one that transcended the boundaries of chronic illness and touched on universal themes of love, trust, and the extraordinary capacity for empathy that exists within every living being. Alex often mused that while he could never fully repay Buddy for the countless times his guardian's instincts had saved him from a crisis, he could honor that bond by living each day with gratitude and by sharing their story so that others might find the courage to believe in the possibility of hope. In time, the narrative of Alex and Buddy became part of the community's folklore, a modern parable that illustrated how the simplest acts of vigilance and compassion could have life-altering consequences. Their journey was celebrated not as an isolated miracle, but as a testament to the profound, interconnected nature of life, a reminder that even in a world rife with uncertainty, there are forces at work that guide us, protect us, and help us rise above our challenges. For every person who had ever felt alone or overwhelmed by the unpredictability of their condition, the story of Buddy's keen senses and unwavering loyalty served as a beacon, illuminating the possibility of a future where love and empathy could triumph over fear. As the narrative of their shared journey continued to unfold, Alex and Buddy embarked on new adventures together, each day a fresh page in a story that was still being written. They traveled to local events where medical alert dogs were honored, participated in training workshops designed to educate others about the life-saving potential of these remarkable animals, and even collaborated with researchers who sought to better understand the scientific underpinnings of a dog's olfactory abilities. Every experience, every challenge, and every victory deepened the bond between them, reinforcing the truth that sometimes, the most powerful allies in our battles come on four legs, with a heart that beats in tune with our own. In reflective interviews with community members, Alex would often speak of Buddy's impact with a mixture of humility and awe. "I've learned that life isn't measured by the number of challenges we face, but by the strength of the bonds that help us overcome them," he would say, his voice steady and full of conviction. "Buddy taught me that every moment is precious, and that with a loyal friend by your side, even the darkest hours can be transformed into opportunities for growth and hope." His words resonated with people of all ages, sparking discussions in local gatherings, support groups, and online forums where the message of resilience and unity was celebrated with heartfelt gratitude. And so, the story of Buddy, the medical alert Pitbull with an extraordinary gift, continued to ripple outwards, touching lives far beyond the confines of Alex's home. It became a symbol of what was possible when compassion met science, when love was harnessed to overcome the most daunting challenges. In every instance where a crisis was averted, in every moment when early warning signs were heeded, and in every shared smile of relief that followed a close call, the spirit of Buddy's silent guardianship shone through, a luminous reminder that hope and loyalty are forces that can never be diminished. In the months following those pivotal mornings when Buddy's gentle warnings helped avert potential crises, life began to settle into a new, more hopeful rhythm for Alex and his devoted companion. With each passing day, the simple acts of care, checking blood sugar levels, taking medications on time, and heeding Buddy's subtle signals, became a seamless part of their routine. What had once been a life clouded by fear of unpredictable health episodes was now illuminated by the constant, reassuring presence of a dog who not only understood his body's distress but actively helped to manage it. As spring blossomed into summer, Alex found himself increasingly able to embrace the spontaneity of life. He ventured out with renewed confidence, no longer held back by the anxiety of unexpected seizures or dangerous hypoglycemic events. Every morning, as he rose with the gentle hum of birds and the soft warmth of sunlight filtering through his window, he would glance down at Buddy, whose unwavering gaze conveyed silent reassurance. "I'm here. We'll face today together." Their bond had grown stronger with every alert and every quiet moment of post-crisis calm. It was a bond forged through shared struggles and the unspoken understanding that Buddy was more than a pet. He was a life-saving partner. The impact of Buddy's extraordinary abilities soon transcended the walls of Alex's home. Local media began to take notice, capturing intimate interviews that showcased not only the technical marvel of a dog detecting minute physiological changes but also the deep emotional connection that had emerged between Alex and his four-legged guardian. In one widely viewed segment, Alex, with eyes brimming with gratitude, recounted how Buddy's early warnings had given him the chance to act in moments that could have otherwise ended in tragedy. "There are times when I feel the tremors of fear creeping in. And before I even know it, Buddy is there, his gentle nudge, his persistent gaze, it's as if he's telling me, this is your moment to take control." His words resonated with audiences who saw in his story a reflection of their own struggles and a beacon of hope for a better quality of life. Local hospitals and clinics, intrigued by the potential of canine-assisted medical alert systems, began to invite Alex and Buddy to speak at health fairs and community seminars. At one such event held in a sunlit community center, Alex shared his personal journey, detailing how the integration of Buddy's innate abilities into his daily medical routine had not only stabilized his conditions but also given him a sense of empowerment he had never experienced before. Medical professionals in attendance were quick to highlight that while technology such as continuous glucose monitors and seizure alert devices played critical roles, nothing could replace the intuitive bond between a person and a compassionate animal. Buddy is a reminder that sometimes, the most advanced sensor isn't a gadget, it's a heart that cares deeply, remarked a well-respected endocrinologist during a panel discussion, prompting enthusiastic applause from the gathered crowd. The local news outlets were abuzz with coverage of Alex and Buddy's remarkable partnership. Social media platforms lit up with testimonials from viewers whose lives had been touched by similar experiences. Hashtags like #BuddyTheGuardian and #MedicalAlertHero trended regionally, with thousands of people sharing their own stories of how a pet's vigilance had saved or improved their lives. Videos, often accompanied by soft piano melodies and poignant narration, chronicled moments when Buddy's behavior had provided a vital warning, each clip a tribute to the quiet heroism that had redefined Alex's world. In countless comments, viewers expressed that they had been inspired to seek out similar training for their pets or even consider adopting animals from shelters, hoping to find in them the same boundless potential for empathy and protection. At the same time, Alex's journey began to influence local policy. The municipal health department, recognizing the untapped potential of medical alert dogs, launched pilot programs aimed at training and certifying pets to assist individuals with chronic conditions. Workshops were organized in partnership with local animal shelters, universities, and healthcare providers. These sessions offered insights into the science of canine olfaction, explaining that a dog's sense of smell is extraordinarily sensitive, capable of detecting biochemical changes at concentrations far below the threshold of human perception. Experts explained how hormones, sweat, and even subtle shifts in body temperature could be picked up by a dog's finely tuned receptors, and how, with proper reinforcement, these natural abilities could be channeled into life-saving alerts. In a particularly engaging demonstration, a local researcher presented data showing that dogs could sense the onset of a seizure or a drop in blood sugar levels with remarkable accuracy. The audience, a mixture of medical professionals and pet enthusiasts, was captivated, and many remarked that Alex and Buddy's story was a testament to the future of integrative healthcare. As Buddy's reputation grew, so too did his influence on the broader community. Local schools began incorporating his story into their curricula as a lesson in empathy, responsibility, and the transformative power of animal companionship. In classrooms across the region, children listened with wide eyes as teachers recounted how Buddy's alerts had given Alex precious moments to react to his condition. Art projects, writing contests, and even science fairs featured themes centered on the bond between humans and their pets, an educational movement that celebrated not only medical innovation but also the beauty of loyalty and love. One classroom project even invited students to design posters promoting the benefits of medical alert dogs. And the resulting artwork was so moving that several pieces were later displayed at the community center for all to admire. In local community centers, support groups for individuals with epilepsy and diabetes began to flourish. Participants shared stories, offered advice, and expressed heartfelt gratitude for the initiatives inspired by Alex and Buddy's experience. Many recounted how the idea of a pet acting as an early warning system had given them hope and a renewed sense of control over their conditions. It's not just about the medical aspect. One group member explained during a support meeting. It's about the emotional relief that comes with knowing someone, or something, is looking out for you when you're too overwhelmed to notice the warning signs yourself. The sentiment resonated deeply with all who attended, and soon these gatherings became a vital part of the community's fabric, offering comfort and practical guidance in equal measure. Buddy's impact also reached into the realm of public advocacy. Animal welfare organizations, inspired by the powerful narrative of a stray pitbull turned life-saving companion, rallied to challenge the negative stereotypes that had long plagued the breed. Public service campaigns were launched, featuring poignant images of Buddy alongside messages promoting responsible pet ownership and the incredible potential of shelter animals when given a nurturing environment. These campaigns, disseminated through social media, local television, and community bulletins, shifted public discourse and helped to elevate the status of pit bulls from misunderstood aggressors to symbols of resilience, loyalty, and healing. Local shelters reported a significant increase in inquiries about pit bull adoptions, and many potential adopters cited Buddy's story as the reason they had reconsidered their preconceived notions. As seasons turned, the personal journey of Alex and Buddy continued to evolve. Their daily routines, once dominated by anxiety and cautious vigilance, transformed into moments of shared joy and quiet celebration. Mornings that had once been fraught with the dread of impending crises were now filled with the gentle routine of breakfast together, walks in the park, and laughter that echoed through their home. In these peaceful moments, Alex would often look at Buddy with profound gratitude, recognizing that the love and loyalty of his canine companion had not only safeguarded his health but had also enriched his life in ways he had never imagined. "Every day, I wake up and see Buddy waiting for me with those kind eyes," Alex said in one reflective interview. "It's a constant reminder that I'm not alone in this battle, that there is a source of strength right here beside me." His words, simple yet heartfelt, captured the essence of their partnership, a bond forged in adversity and nurtured by mutual trust. In time, the narrative of Alex and Buddy became a beacon of hope not only for those with chronic medical conditions but for anyone facing the unpredictable challenges of life. Their story was shared at national conferences on healthcare innovation, in online webinars dedicated to chronic illness management, and even in scientific journals that explored the cutting-edge intersection of animal behavior and medicine. Researchers cited Buddy's case as an example of how a natural predisposition, when combined with compassion and appropriate training, could revolutionize patient care. It was a narrative that bridged the gap between hard science and human emotion. A story of how the subtle, almost mystical bond between a man and his dog could transform lives on a grand scale. As the years rolled on, Alex and Buddy's journey continued to inspire new generations of caregivers, pet owners, and advocates. Their shared experiences paved the way for innovative projects that aimed to integrate medical alert dogs into broader public health strategies. Pilot programs expanded, offering training scholarships for shelter animals with the potential to serve as life-saving companions. Community centers hosted annual events where families, healthcare professionals, and animal trainers gathered to celebrate the advances made possible by this unique partnership. At these events, Alex's story was told and retold, a narrative that captured the imagination of all who listened, reminding them that even in the midst of life's most daunting challenges, the smallest act of vigilance could spark a chain reaction of hope. In reflective moments, Alex would often recall the days when Buddy's gentle nudges and soft barks signaled the onset of a crisis. Those moments, though fraught with tension and fear at the time, had ultimately become a source of empowerment, a reminder that every heartbeat, every breath, was a gift nurtured by love and guarded by loyalty. He knew that the road ahead might still hold uncertainties, but with Buddy by his side, he felt ready to face whatever came next. "I've learned that life is unpredictable," Alex mused during one intimate conversation at a community gathering. "But with a partner like Buddy, every challenge becomes a little easier to bear. He's taught me that love and trust can be our most powerful medicines." The legacy of Buddy's vigilance grew into a lasting testament to the transformative power of the human-animal bond. His story, once a personal struggle between a man and his health challenges, blossomed into a movement that touched countless lives. Through his quiet heroism, Buddy had not only helped to manage the ebb and flow of Alex's medical crises but had also ignited a cultural shift, one that celebrated the potential for every creature, regardless of its origins, to become a guardian, a healer, and a symbol of hope. In the final analysis, the journey of Alex and Buddy became much more than a story about managing epilepsy or diabetes. It became a universal tale of resilience and redemption, of how unexpected allies can emerge in our darkest moments, and of the profound realization that every heartbeat is a reminder of the inherent strength we all possess. As the sun set on another peaceful evening and the gentle glow of twilight filled the sky, Alex and Buddy sat together on their porch, a silent promise that no matter what the future held, they would face it side by side. And in that quiet, enduring companionship, the world found a reason to believe that hope, nurtured by love and sustained by loyalty, could indeed conquer all.